When someone said this, that if bread is absent in town for 1 week, some people may die, I did not understand it. Why? Because we used to eat bread only when someone visits from town. So show us proof that you are coming from town, you must bring bread. If you don't bring bread, then you are not coming from town. You can't tell us that you are coming from town and you don't have bread. Yes. When you bring the bread, we cut small pieces like that and we are satisfied. Bring whatsoever thing, but if it's not bread, then forget about it. You are not from town. We will not believe in you. Why are these people very successful? Because they put their heads together and then they support each other. When you go for those your family meetings, how do you do it? A brings 1,000, B brings 1,000, they gather and then they give to you, to this one person. Take, go and start that your own business. Next year they come and gather, they give to another person. The next year they gather, give to another. Before you know it, each and every one of them is economically empowered. That is the same thing. On this journey, you must build good relationships with people that will support you, with people that will strengthen you, with people that will be there for you, particularly when you receive those love letters and you are feeling weak and you say, I will not apply again. They will tell you that it pays to apply. Apply. That is what happens. I met a young woman some time ago during a program. I took her number, but I never called her. And when I was invited for the evening interview, scholarship interview, behold, the person I met there was that woman. When I saw her, my heart started beating very fast. I said, had it been I established a good relationship with this woman and I had been sustaining that relationship, maybe she would have told me a lot of things that would have helped me here. Am I sure I will make it? Do I tell her that we met some time ago? So many things came to my mind. And then at the end of it, I said, no, just be focused. What if you tell her now and she decides to tie you down? I said, no, I will not say anything. And then deep within me, I still felt like I needed to have nourished this relationship. Not for her to tell me the interview questions, but because she would have given me some tips. That is something she has been doing for years. She would have said, now that you are preparing for the interview, watch out for things like this and like this. When you are asked questions, approach. That is how it happens everywhere. That is mentorship. So we must learn how to establish good relationships. In school, establish good relationships with your teachers. These are the people that will write letters of recommendation for you when you are applying for programs. If you don't know any of these teachers, who will write for you? If they don't know you, how do they write a good letter of recommendation? Some of you go to school, your teachers pass, you don't even greet them. You want them to greet you first. You say you have passed the GC ordinary level, you are a big student, or you have passed the GC advanced level. You need them more than they need you. You have to establish good relationships with them. So whether you believe it or not, you will never be great on your own without others. You need the support of others. Because if the troubles of other people do not matter to you, know that you are not living yet. If the troubles of other people do not matter to you, know that you are not living yet. It is only when their own troubles start making meaning to you that you are alive. Some of you stay in a community and you hear your neighbor shouting at the top of his or her voice. You will not even go out to check. You will stay in your house. You will say it's his problem. But fire has caught in the neighbor's house. The house is burning. And the next house is your own. And then you stay in your house. You say that is the neighbor's problem. And before you know it, the fire meets you. But if you go out after hearing your neighbor shout at the top of his or her voice, and you realize that it is fire, and you help your neighbor to put out the fire, you have saved your own house. You have saved your own house. That is what we're talking about here. Building those relationships. Like Albert Einstein puts it, if I have been able to see far, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. That is what he says. You cannot just get up one morning and you tell yourself that you want to build an aircraft without reading literature how other people were able to build the aircraft. Remember, the first aircraft was built by the Wright brothers, who were even school dropouts. And when they came up with their idea that they want to build a flying machine, they did not call it an aircraft, they called it a flying machine. People laughed at them. They said, university professors are unable to, school dropouts like you, what do you want to do? It will not work. But they believed in their dream. They were sons of a farmer. They started doing their calculations on paper, and then they were able to build the first aircraft. When they did, do you know what happened after that? They cleared the entire farm, all the grass on the farm, and then they piled it like this. The day they had to test the aircraft to see whether it works or not. And then they entered inside. They started rising, and then at one point it fell. They came out, and then they congratulated themselves. They said, a job well done. And then they went back to their papers. They did the calculations again, adjusted. Everything was fine. They entered, went higher, higher. Nothing happened. They went around the farm the first time. Nothing happened. Went around the second time. Nothing happened. And then they landed. Something told them that, no, maybe they see a problem. They entered inside again, went around 2 times. Everything was fine. They kept it. And then they went directly to Buckingham Palace. We want to meet the queen now. Sons of a farmer. Why do you want to see the queen? We want to see the queen, and it is very, very urgent. They said even the president of the United States will book before coming to see the queen. They said no problem. They went back. They went and entered that flying machine, came and passed over the place. They went and packed it. And came back. We want to see the queen now. Why do you want to see the queen? Did you see that flying machine that just passed here? Say yes, we were the ones inside. You can see the queen. And when they saw the queen sent the prime minister, go and enter first. And then the prime minister entered. They took him around and came back. Then the queen asked him, how was it? Then he said, top notch. That is when the queen now got in. So, this may not be directly related to this, but you see here, people who were determined to achieve a goal. You see people who had challenges on their way, but we also see people who collaborated with one another, who supported each other. Because if one of them had given up, maybe the other would not have been able to realize this dream alone. I want to tell you here and now that whatever dream you have is very possible. Whatever dream you want to achieve, it is very possible for you to achieve that dream. However, you must be willing to put together the necessary factors that will lead you to the realization of that dream. And the greatest factor is to believe in yourself. It is said that ships sink, not because of the water that surrounds them, but the water that gets into them. So if you allow what is in you, that voice in you telling you that you cannot make it, which is the voice of village people, to overpower you, then you may not make it. Brett, you will. Thank you very much.
This is wonderful, right?